years old. Never know your heart.
Make me strong, make me strong.
Ain't no level know how to sit me, just what they tell me. I'm just waiting on somebody to show me.
And good morning. You're listening to the Education Pulse right here on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. The Education Pulse comes to you every other Saturdays with Dr. Height, and you can catch us streaming live on wordradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. Therefore, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Height. Dr. Height, good morning.
And thanks to everyone who is tuning in for another episode of Education Pulse. This morning, unfortunately, we were greeted with the sad news that last night we lost a huge community advocate and organizer in the Germantown section of Philadelphia. Reverend Leroy Simmons, unfortunately, passed away last night. He was very instrumental in supporting the students and families of Germantown area high school and Martin Luther King High School, always supportive of the district and the students that we serve, particularly in the northwest section of Philadelphia. And just wanted to make sure that I had the opportunity to begin this morning's show just acknowledging my sincere condolences out of respect to the family of Reverend Leroy Simmons, and thank him for all of the work in the city of Philadelphia, and particularly with the school district of Philadelphia. This morning, there are quite a few updates, and wanted to provide some updates before we get into the meat of our show. This morning's show is going to be exciting because it's about all of our young people who are graduating. So this is all about our seniors, the tremendous work that they have been able to accomplish in an unprecedented year. Staff members who have actually worked with these young people to ensure that they have access to as many opportunities as possible, and even an alumnus who has given back to young people to support young people from his high school and young people who participated in some of the same activities that he participated in when he was a student in the school district of Philadelphia. But before we get to our seniors and recognize many of the accomplishments of our seniors, I want to provide a brief set of updates. First and foremost, the district-wide parent survey. So it's extremely important for us to get information from the individuals we serve, from our students, from our staff members, but most importantly from our parents. And so every year we have a district-wide parent survey. That survey is going to close on Friday, May 14th. The annual district survey is one of the best tools that we use to gather feedback on numerous topics that are impactful to the educational experiences of our young people. Your responses, along with the responses from our students and school staff survey, it helps to inform our work that we do to improve schools and, more importantly, to improve the services to our students and to their families. It takes about 10 minutes to complete, and all you will need your student's ID number, which can be found on their report card, and is also the same as their lunch number. If you have trouble logging in or have any questions about the survey, contact the survey team, 215-400-6565, or just send an email to schoolsurvey@philasd.org. And once again, I think we talked about this before, we have just gone through a year, an unprecedented year for our young people, for our families, but most importantly, and for our educators, but most importantly for our students. So that's why it's extremely important to talk about the summer programming that will be available for all young people. Summer program registration is open to all Philadelphia school students, including charter and parochial schools. We understand that more than ever, our students will be seeking academic support, opportunities to connect with their peers over the summer, and help in preparing to return to in-person learning in the fall. We have designed our summer programming to meet the challenges we know our students face right now. And it's not just about doing schoolwork. It's also about engaging young people in fun activities that they will be able to experience actually in person. So these are not virtual programs, these are all in person. We're excited to welcome students entering grades kindergarten through 12 when summer programming begins June 28th, 2021. All current School District of Philadelphia students entering grades kindergarten through 12 are eligible and encouraged to participate. There is no charge to the summer programming, and summer learning programs are proven to reinforce and build new skills, sending young people back to school in September ready to learn. Additionally, summer youth employment programs engage older youth in meaningful activities that help them cultivate new skills, prepare for college, improve grades, and earn money at the same time. Learn more about the summer 2021 academic programming on our website at philasd.org. The deadline is fast approaching to register for summer programming. It is Tuesday, May 15th. Last week, the Philadelphia Federation of Teachers also completed its readiness review for all of the remaining school buildings in our district. A phase 3 hybrid learning plans, and these are children who will come back to school at least 2 days a week, for students in grades 6 through 9 who have not yet returned, and students with complex needs in grades 10 through 12 will return this Monday, May 10th. And we know that many families have asked about September, and our goal once again is to have 100% in-person learning when the fall rolls around. So we are working towards having all children back on a full-time basis when the start of school begins next fall. Now I want to switch gears and talk about our guest today. As I indicated earlier, our high school seniors across the country, not just here in Philadelphia, have experienced an unprecedented disruption in their lives over the last year. They've lost the important rituals of the senior year, but in spite of all of that, we cannot ignore their perseverance and their resilience. And I'm excited that today's guests include several outstanding seniors from across the district. My colleagues who have remained committed to guiding their students to this next chapter in their post-secondary education, and a spotlight on one of our alumni whose own testimony about the impact of track and field inspired him to give back to his alma mater. So our first guest in the first segment of the show will be Mr. William Mayer. He's the Assistant Dean of Students at Swenson Arts and Tech High School. He's also a track coach there. Sean Harris is a high school senior and a member of the Swenson's track team. Hanif Hardy, a Swenson High School alumni and community organizer. Welcome to all of you this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Height.
Indeed, indeed. So, William, I'll start with you. And as I mentioned earlier, this has been a difficult year for many students, particularly our seniors. Can you talk briefly about how you and the Swenson community have been supporting our students? But more specifically, how you've been supporting our seniors, both those seniors who are just seniors and seniors who are members of your track team?
Yes, sir. So it's interesting. As you said, we've been impacted a great deal by the COVID-19 pandemic. And one of the things that our principal and vice principal implemented as soon as the entire thing happened was we all took on a sort of a big brother, big sister role where we took a team of children and we called, and those students we didn't get a call from or a call back, we showed up at houses, we showed up at jobs, we dropped off laptops. We made sure all of our students had food. If they didn't eat, they were connected to food pantries. We were dropping off boxes of food. So we were making sure all of our students were accounted for. We were making sure they were all had the tools that they needed to succeed and to be successful during a pandemic.
Yeah, no, really appreciate that, and really appreciate the work that you've done. And did you have a track season, or are you in track season now?
So we have a track season now. It's an abridged track season. During the pandemic, we did not have a track season, but we encouraged all of our students to do some sort of PT, even if it's just walk out of the house, walk around the block, try to get something in. We know that it was really, really a strange time, but we are in a track season now. And so we are connecting with our students again. We're having practices again. Of course, everybody has a mask on. We're all socially distanced, but we are excited to be back in the saddle.
Well, Coach Mayer, that's exciting to hear. And this is William Mayer, Assistant Dean of Students at Swenson Arts and Tech High School. He's also the track coach there. And because you're the track coach, we also have one of your student athletes here. And that individual is Sean Harris, a high school senior and member of the Swenson track team. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning.
And so you have some exciting plans post-graduation. Can you tell us about your plans and the impact track has had on your academic and personal journey?
So my plans after high school is to be in automotive. I always loved cars. I'm in an automotive program in Swenson now. It's a great program, and I'm going to CCP for their automotive program.
Fantastic.
That's my after school program, and the way that track has affected me, it's like I said before, it's like a second family. It's nice to have them behind your back because I used to always be an underdog. I played baseball, I played football, and I used to be always told, you're too small for football. You're not big enough, you don't have enough power for baseball. And then you go into track, and there is no that. There is no the coach saying, oh, you're too small to run. Oh, you're not this to run. Oh, you're not that to run. It's like, go out there and go run. You can run. You can run this. You can run that. There was no underdog in the track field. You respected whoever you raced against, no matter what size, what they had on, or what they were racing. You had to respect them because you didn't know where they came from, and you didn't know how fast or if that was their race or how good they were. That's how it affected me and impacted me.
So fantastic, Sean. Thanks for sharing. What are your events?
Sorry, what?
What events do you compete in track?
So I started off as a sprinter, but now I do long distance. So I do the more of 800 mile and 2 miles.
Fantastic. Yeah, but no, great story, and congratulations on doing the automotive work and continuing that work at CCP. And I know you all have a strong automotive program out there at Swenson. And so thanks for being there. And thanks for talking about this notion of not being too small. Everyone can participate. And Coach Mayer, I'm sure, is smiling as he hears that, anyone is welcome out in track. And I would also add, Sean, that people have proven over and over again, you're not too small to even play those other sports that you talked about. And one individual who has provided support to all of the students and to many individuals, is a former student from Swenson. And that individual is Hanif Hardy. He is a Swenson High School alum. He's also a community organizer. Hanif, you shared a similar connection like the one Sean mentioned around the impact of track. As a former track star at Swenson and now an alum, why was it important for you to contribute to the Public League Community Closet? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about what you contributed, because I think that's important. Good morning. Thanks for being here, Hanif.
No, definitely. Thank you. I really appreciate that opportunity and the time. The reason I gave back because I live by a motto of be who you needed when you were younger. So I really felt that connection on what the opportunity it gave me and what it could do for somebody else. So when I got the donation, I looked at each spike as an opportunity. And just knowing that when I was running at Swenson, I faced a lot of underdog. I was too smart to play basketball. I was too smart to do certain things. And stepping on that track, it was like I was in my own world. Nobody can tell me what I couldn't do. And even when the ones that said I couldn't do something, I still felt like I had more of an opportunity to prove it on the track more than anywhere else. And just being able to succeed on the track gave me a lot of confidence everywhere, like other places in the world.
So, Hanif, I want to say thank you for the contribution that you've made to the Public League Community Closet. And I understand it's over 300 pairs of spikes.
Yes.
These are brand new spikes that you made us, and I've seen the pictures of all of the different brands that have been provided. So, I mean, why would an individual like yourself choose to do something like that?
It's a confidence builder. It's really a confidence builder. I remember when I ran, I was somebody gave me shoes. My brother gave me his old track spikes, and I just remember being at the line, looking around. Everybody had the gear, they had the fresh shoes, and it burnt my confidence at the line. Yeah. So when I got the donation, I just know this little thing, this little spikes can give a kid so much motivation. It can make them it can give them that purpose of I deserve to be here, and just that little thing right there can make somebody feel 100% better. And I knew if I had the opportunity to do that, then why let it go to waste?
Yeah, no, and on behalf of all of the young people who've taken advantage of the gear that you provided, I want to say thank you for doing that. That means a lot to your point, to the individuals. I ran track in high school and in college. I ran indoor in college, but by the same token, the importance of your own gear, to your point, it is so critically important. And Coach Mayer, I think you are still with us. I mean, what do you think of when you see individuals like Hanif who give back to organizations like the Swenson track team?
It's amazing because you see so much negativity in the world. Yeah. Every time you turn around, there's something negative highlighted on the news. But it's amazing that you have and it's not just Hanif. There are several other people who are willing to donate time and give to our students. So it means a lot to me that the hard work has paid off. And not only has it paid off, they're paying it forward to generations that are coming after them to leave the sport better than they found it. It's amazing.
Yeah. And did you have any young people from Swenson take advantage of the spikes?
Oh, absolutely. We've had several of our students, not like Hanif said, not everyone can afford a brand new pair of spikes. Right. A brand new pair of spikes, as you know, Dr. Hike, can be upward of $200. And that's a lot of money. And oftentimes we as coaches come out of our pockets, get kids spikes, and we just keep it moving. We don't even think about it. So to have a donation of over 400 pairs of spikes, when coaches are calling, hey, you got a size 9, hey, you got a size 10, yo, you got a size 11, Hanif has donated, and we can say, hey, come to the closet. We've got a 9, a 10, 11, jump spikes, sprint spike. We have what you need. Come over and get what you need.
That's excellent. And once again, this is William Mayer, Assistant Dean of Students at Swenson Arts and Tech High School. He's also the track coach there. And we have Sean Harris, a high school senior and member of the Swenson's track team. Also, who's going to be doing some automotive. He's going to extend his training in automotive repair as he moves to the community college after high school. And a remarkable story, Hanif Hardy, a Swenson High School alum and community organizer who donated, I said over 300, Coach Mayer said over 400 pairs of spikes. So Hanif, big shout out to you, my brother, for providing those types of resources for our young people. And Hanif, I know, and we got to go to a break here shortly, but I know your story about your journey in the Philadelphia School District is a unique one. And can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, definitely. So it all like bottles in with track and field in my journey. Just being born and raised in Philadelphia, that nuclear structure family, mom, dad, brothers, and I just had that sense of family, that sense of being loved. And shortly after a couple years of marriage, it just went away. My mom and dad separated, and once they separated, I was on that sense of finding that new home, and track became that new home at Swenson. So I remember just growing up and going to track meets, and people was like, "Oh, Swenson got a boys team? Oh, y'all fast, y'all good." And that was like my motivation to prove like we exist and we're here. And then I found like a group of kids that was like, well, we're on the same page, and we want the world to know that we exist. So this team that went unexistent for many years, we were able to stay connected for 2 or 3 years. And when like I was a state champion, we had the public league record in the 4x4. But like I remember like time before that, I was walking up to meets and people was like, "Oh, I didn't know y'all even exist." So like just growing up, losing my mother, losing my father, and stuff like that, it just a lot of adversity was faced. But I wasn't the only kid that was going through this stuff. So when we found that connection to be connected with each other, we all was like committed to this thing, and we was passionate about it. And when we do something that's passionate and we do it long enough, it becomes an art. And once it becomes an art, the world around you will give you all the answers you need. So as a young kid, we were getting answers when we didn't even know we was getting answers. And like throughout time, it was just paying us back. So just as like say what William said, we're not just me, but other alumni is giving back as well. Like this summer, the alumni are planning to come back and do a 2-day track clinic with the current students now, to let them know what come out the city, what you're able to do once you leave, what this little shoe or this sport can create for you outside of track and field.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I just really appreciate you spending some time with us on a Saturday morning. It's Hanif Hardy, a Swenson High School alum, community organizer, and a philanthropist, and who has provided over 400 pairs of spikes to our public league closet for young people participating in track and field. Also, William Mayer, or Coach Mayer, Assistant Dean of Students at Swenson Arts and Tech High School. He's also the track coach. And Sean Harris, a high school senior and member of Swenson's track team. So I want to thank all of you gentlemen for being on this morning. We'll go to a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to some more seniors who are doing some fantastic stuff and the individuals who are supporting them. We'll go to a break.
At Bank of America, we believe in the power of collaboration to create jobs and fuel economic opportunity. That's why we're working with local organizations to help people get the skills they need and build a growing pipeline of talent.
I'm Jim Dever, Bank of America Greater Philadelphia Market President. Our partnership with Philadelphia Youth Network is just one way we're taking action to help more members of our community. What would you like the power to do?
Bank of America N.A., member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
Philadelphia, it's State Representative Joanna McClinton. The stakes in this year's district attorney's race couldn't be higher. For decades, the DA's office devastated black communities through brutal punishment while never holding police accountable. DA Larry Krasner has changed that in just 3 short years, while his opponent spent 35 years relentlessly pushing the policies that destroyed our communities. We cannot let him take us back. We have everything to lose. We must keep moving forward. Vote now, vote early, vote Krasner for DA on May the 18th.
Paid for by Krasner for DA. Tune in to Save Space with Sincerely Sarita, Mondays at 8 p.m. discussing financial literacy tips with certified financial advisor Joanna Jane. Brought to you by AARP Philadelphia, exclusively on WURD Radio and WURD TV.
It's election season, citizens, which means it's your chance to decide on the next DA and City Controller of Philadelphia and for state and local judges. If that's not enough, here's one more reason to cast your ballot by mail or in person on May 18th. The Philadelphia Citizen will award 3 residents $1,000 each just for voting in the primary this spring through its municipal election voter lottery. All you have to do to qualify is vote. That's right. It really does pay to vote in Philadelphia this year. For more information, go to thephiladelphiacitizen.org.
Looking for something fun to watch at home? The Wilma Theater's film production of Fat Ham by Philadelphia playwright James Imes is now streaming online. Fat Ham, directed by Morgan Green, tells the story of a young black man trying to find his joy.
You carrying around your whole family's trauma, man. And that's okay. You okay. But you don't gotta let it define you.
Fat Ham mixes a joyful message of resilience with the humor of a black 90s sitcom. Fat Ham is streaming on demand now through May 23rd. To watch the trailer, visit the Wilma Theater online at wilmatheater.org.
Word on Politics. As we approach the Pennsylvania primary, join incumbent District Attorney Larry Krasner and his challenger, former homicide prosecutor Carlos Vega, as they square off in a live broadcast debate Wednesday, May 12th at 1 p.m., presented by WURD Radio, moderated by Charles Ellison, host of Reality Check, and Joanne Bell of the Black Women's Leadership Council. Don't miss this opportunity to hear from the candidates for District Attorney, Wednesday, May 12th at 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on WURDradio.com, the WURD Radio app, or watch live on WURD TV via Facebook and YouTube. You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
And we're back. As you're just tuning in, you're tuning into the Education Post hosted by Dr. Height. Dr. Height, platform's back to you.
Thanks, Jordan. And in the second segment, and this morning's show is all about our seniors and all about our seniors who are doing magnificent things. And we know that this has been an unprecedented year for them. And although it's been an unprecedented year, many of them have persisted and been resilient and shown a great deal of tenacity as they have worked through a very challenging time. So we're recognizing a lot of our young people who are seniors this morning and the individuals who support them. And so in this segment, we're going to be talking to some guests from Strawberry Mansion High School. And we have with us this morning Amira Sullivan, who's a counselor at Strawberry Mansion, who has an amazing story. Samira Sullivan Williams, she's a senior at Strawberry Mansion High School, and Elena Hunter, a senior at Strawberry Mansion as well. And so, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Amira, I'll start with you, and because I think this is so important, and I talked about it. Today's show is all about celebrating our seniors while also recognizing work of individuals like yourself and the work that you have done to go above and beyond to provide a pathway to success and post-secondary opportunities and readiness for our students. Also want to congratulate you, as I hear you just completed your principal certification as well. So your commitment to the students at Strawberry Mansion is very personal for many reasons. And can you tell us about that connection?
Yes, so I graduated from Strawberry Mansion in 2006. I went to Mansion for all 4 years, and my experience at Mansion really grounded me in the work of counseling, and that's the reason why I became a counselor today. After I graduated from Mansion, I went to Penn State, then to Temple, and then I got my bachelor's degree in psychology. And then from there, I think maybe like 2 years later, I decided to go back to school for counseling, where I graduated from Eastern University. And in that time, I was looking for a job, but not really looking for a job. And I went to Mansion just to do my own program to see if I can just work with the students. And the principal at the time said that they were hiring for a counselor. I had just graduated. I applied. I literally had an interview on Wednesday and was hired on Friday. And it was just a beautiful experience. And to be able to be a counselor in a place where I feel was my home was just so important for me.
Yeah, no, really appreciate that. And I've had an opportunity to see your work up close and personal. And so just want to acknowledge the tremendous commitment that you have for the young people that you support at Strawberry Mansion. And two of those young people are also on this morning, Samira and Elena. And understand the two of you have a beautiful history together from kindergarten through second grade. Then you took a little break from 3rd to 11th, and now back together at Mansion. And so how has the support from Ms. Sullivan impacted you, specifically over the past year? And how have you supported each other as best friends?
Well, I consider the impact, well, for one, having Ms. Sullivan as a mom and a counselor was very helpful throughout high school, because my mom is if you know my mom, which a lot of people do, they know that my mom is very supportive, and all her students can say that Ms. Sullivan has helped them in the long run, like whether that be inside school, outside of school. My mom is very supportive. She has it was plenty of times when my mom wasn't at work and dropped what she was doing to help the people, her students, her kids, that's what she called them. And for supporting Elena, me and Elena being in a program together and being in school together, we make sure to stay on top of our work. Like Elena reminds me to do my work, I remind her to do her work, make sure we log in on time, all types of stuff, because we work together as a team, me, my mom, and Elena, and Mansion. So.
Fantastic. And Samira, you remind me of your mom. When I'm talking to you, it feels like I'm talking to your mom. So it's good to see you this morning. Elena, same question to you. I mean, and can you talk about the work that, Ms. Sullivan's support for you and it's had, and talk about your relationship with Samira.
So as Samira was saying, Sullivan, anybody could vouch for this. Like normal counselors, they come in at 7, they leave at 3. Sullivan all day. She's really, I wouldn't really say she's a counselor. She's like whatever you need her to be. You need a friend, you need a mom. She's like everything. And, Sullivan definitely keeps us all on our toes, because we definitely have a group chat. So she's like, why didn't y'all do this? Why didn't y'all sign up for that? And then me and Samira be texting on the side, like, what is she talking about? So, yeah, me and Samira, we definitely, text each other, did you, because we're in the same program, and we don't really, I personally don't really talk to everybody like that. I'm kind of introverted. So I definitely text Samira, did you see what they were talking about? Do you know what they were talking about? So she definitely helps me, and it's definitely, nice to have somebody on the inside with you than being by yourself. So I really appreciate that as well.
No, really appreciate it. And Elena, you just said something about you're in the same program. And I know the two of you are in something that we call the senior year only program. And it is, can you talk a little bit about what that program is and what opportunities it's provided for you? And then Samira, I'm gonna ask you the same question.
So it's the senior year only program where we do our first year of college through CCP. Due to COVID-19, we were online, so we didn't really get to go to campus and go to the actual classes. And most of our classes were asynchronous, but we still got to experience what it would be like. So even if we decide that we still want to take the classes over next year, we will still have that experience and be more prepared. So it kind of gives us a foot in the door already, because we can either accept those credits and move them over, or take the classes again and already know what we're going to learn and possibly do better than we already did the first time. So I think that was really helpful to have. And the program leaders are really great, and they definitely help you as well. So.
Samira, I ask you the same question.
Well, for me, first, I've never been in a program like SIOP. SIOP was very beneficial throughout the school year, and I love that it's literally like college. My mom always told me, growing up, college is a different ballgame. Your teachers is not going to be reminding you to do your schoolwork, this, that, and the third, and that's the truth. The program leaders are different from the professors. Our professors, we've had good professors, bad professors, but we still knew that we had to work through it. They are very supportive. Ms. Tabs, Mr. King, they are on top of our stuff. They're very helpful. I love this program, actually, and I would recommend it to anybody to help benefit them in the long run as well, because the college credits is that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Not many people get the opportunity to do something like that, to start college early. That's I like that. So it's great.
Yeah, no, and Samira referred to a program. And when talking to Samira and Elena, they're both seniors at Strawberry Mansion. They're in a special program. Samira just called the program SIOP. That means Senior Year Only Program. And it's a program where these two young people and other students who are seniors actually do their senior year at the Community College of Philadelphia. And these two young ladies were just talking about that program. to both of you, I mean, to the students, and then I'm going to go back to Ms. Sullivan, the Counselor Sullivan, but to the students, what advice would you give to the incoming class of 2022?
My advice would be to do your scholarships, because that's something that I learned the hard way. I know it's very time consuming and it's very annoying, but it will help you, because college is expensive and your parents might not have the funds, or just do the scholarships. It'll help you. And build a bond with the people like that you interact with. Like, make sure you remember the people that got you where you're supposed to be. Like, my mom is my #1 support system. Miss Tabbs, Mr. King, even some of my professors were very helpful. Just make sure your teachers know you, and don't be shy all the time. Like, I know that it's hard, because I was like that coming into the program. I don't know how to I know how to do it. I'm just a little shy sometimes. Like, I don't like talking to people. I like to be by myself. But that's something that I had to get out of, because it's not going to help you being by yourself all the time. You got to reach out, because you never know. People might have answers. They might help you. You never know. So it's okay to get out that shell.
Appreciate it. Elena, I'll ask you the same thing.
So for the class of 2022 specifically, I definitely agree with Samira about filling out those scholarships, because I definitely had to learn the hard way. So now that I've had a reality check about how expensive college is, I'm like, let me start getting a little scholarship in there, here and there. And just in general, I feel like a good thing to tell any class is don't follow like your friends, because your friends in high school probably aren't really your friends, and that can definitely drag you down. So kind of worry about yourself and where you want to be, and surround yourself with people who you feel like have goals like you have, because that's always good to be around. So yeah.
Wow, you just helped me with my graduation speech that I'm going to have for children. You just gave me a recommendation of some things that I can say to young people as a part of that. So thank you. Thank you, Elena. Amira Sullivan, who is the counselor for these two remarkable young ladies. One happens to be your daughter as well. So Amira, I was watching a video, and the video talked about your journey, and it had Samira in it as a younger child. And something that was in that video, something that you said, that working with young people, particularly in that community, it has to be passion. It has to be a passion for the work that you do. Can you talk about why this is your passion?
A long story, very short, is I had a rough upbringing, or I thought I had a rough upbringing. And I always blamed other people for what I experienced. And growing up, I didn't have what I felt like I needed due to my living situation, my situation with my mom. It was just a lot of stuff going on, and school was always my outlet. I went to all public schools. I graduated from Reynolds. I graduated from Vaux. I graduated from Mansion, but I've spent majority of my life in North Philly, specifically in the Strawberry Mansion community, to be more area, and just being aware of all of the things that those students down there go through, and knowing that when I was going to school, my teachers and my counselors and my principals, they were my family. And when I went to Mansion, it just followed me no matter what school I went to. One of the things I always did, and it's kind of how I got where I am, is I attached myself to an adult. And going into Mansion, I wanted to be that one adult for those students, because sometimes, like Samira said, you don't really want to open yourself up because you're not sure how people are going to receive you. You're not sure if people are going to judge you. Students might be ashamed of their situation. And one of the things I'm really good at is helping students understand that this is not your story. Your story is just beginning. You can change the outcome of it. And I'm passionate about it because I want to be what I needed and what I had as a student. So that's my short story, long story short.
No, really appreciate it. And this is Amira Sullivan. She is a counselor at Strawberry Mansion. Magnificent story. And we were talking to two of her students that she supports. One happens to be her daughter, Samira, and the other is Elena. And these are both students who are participating in the Senior Year Only program, which means that their senior year is on the Community College of Philadelphia. And so I want to thank all three of you for being on the show this morning. And when we return from the break, we will hear from another one of my colleagues, who's a principal at one of the largest high schools in the city of Philadelphia, along with a young person who is a senior, and they're going to talk a little bit about what they're going to do, what their plans are for next year as well. So Amira, Samira, and Elena, thank you so much for being on this morning. We'll go to a break.
Anthony Wright was wrongfully convicted of murder after he spent over 2 decades in prison. DNA exonerated him. In 2016, Carlos Vega re-prosecuted him anyway.
I was in prison, convicted of a crime that I didn't commit. Every single person that was involved was corrupt. I think about Carlos Vega, I think about the devil, I think about racism.
Vote now. Vote Krasner for DA. Paid for by Lawrence Krasner for District Attorney.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle Obama. Barack and I are so thrilled that we got our COVID-19 vaccine because this is a deadly disease and this vaccine will protect us from getting really sick. Getting vaccinated is safe and it could save your life and allow us to start getting back to seeing friends and family again. We can do this. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Black Words Book Club. WURD Radio's monthly conversation on books that explore the African American experience through social, economic, and environmental justice issues. Tune in the second Tuesday of every month on Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. The next book for May is Living in Color by Tommy Davidson. Be sure to listen live, as Nick Taliaferro will hold a contest for a giveaway book bundle that consists of 4 titles from Kensington's Defina's Authors of Color's newest release. Don't miss it. Tuesday, May 11th on Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro. Attention for WURD members. Get your copy and receive a 20% discount when you purchase at Harriet's Bookstore or Hakeem's Bookstore. For more information on the Black Words Book Club, visit wordradio.com. The Black Words Book Club is sponsored by Defina. Defina is an imprint of Kensington Publishing Corporation, America's independent publisher, concentrating on authors of color.
Beyond the Seams is a husband and wife-owned business providing custom apparel services such as embroidery, screen printing, DTG, and heat transfer. The boutique also showcases local Philly clothing brands and art. Bring your vision to life at Beyond the Seams. Beyond the Seams is located at 828 North Broad Street. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram at BTSPHL. This ad is brought to you by the North Broad Renaissance and Trust Foundation.
Listen up, WURD family. Brown's family-owned ShopRite of Roxborough is hosting a hiring event this Saturday, May 8th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., located at 6901 Ridge Avenue. On-the-spot interviews will be held. ShopRite of Roxborough will be providing snacks and various giveaways. Again, Brown's family-owned ShopRite of Roxborough, Saturday, May 8th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. With flexible hours and competitive weekly pay, you can come and get a job today.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
And we're back. As you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Education Pulse hosted by Dr. Height. Dr. Height, back to you.
Thank you. And this morning's segment is all about our seniors and the fantastic work that they've done in an unprecedented year. And the fact that they've been resilient and they've persevered, they've showed a great deal of tenacity in dealing with the challenges that we've all lived through over this past year. And so the third segment of the show is going to be focused on a principal at the largest high school in the city of Philadelphia, Omar Crowder. Omar, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. And one of his star students who is a senior there, Rosalie, who is Zagabbi. And Rosalie, thank you for joining us and getting up on a Saturday morning to come on the radio this morning. So thank you both.
Good morning, Dr. Hyde and Principal Crowder, and thank you for having me.
Indeed, indeed. So Principal Crowder, I'll start with you. I mean, and we've been talking with some SDP colleagues and graduating seniors earlier in the show about the support and opportunities in place to help them prepare for college or other opportunities after graduation in the midst, in the midst of a pandemic. Can you talk a little bit about how you've provided those opportunities to our students?
Absolutely. So, one of the things that we are incredibly proud of at Northeast High School is over the last several years, we've helped send students off to top colleges and universities around the country. We've sent kids to Stanford, Harvard, MIT, Cornell, University of Chicago. The list goes on and on and on. And you're going to hear Rosalie today talk about her journey to Northeastern University in Boston. And one of the things that we really pride ourselves in is the fact that we acknowledge and we know that it takes a village to support our students in the college readiness space and the post-secondary space for that matter. The other thing I forgot to mention, a big shout out, one of our students got accepted to the military academy at West Point last year.
Fantastic.
And so the list goes on and on and on. And so we really are looking at supporting kids, in the post-secondary space. So we have 7 counselors, we have 2 college and career coordinators, we have a full-time staffer from Philadelphia Futures who all work hand in hand to support our kids. Pre-COVID, pre-pandemic, we would host college fairs, financial aid nights, things like that had to be moved into the virtual space. But I will say that our staff, they have not missed a beat. And so the work continued regardless of our ability to be together in the building. We hosted probably our largest college fair recently. We had 80 colleges and universities represented. Well over 1,000 of our students participated in grades 9 to 12. We recently hosted an HBCU college fair online. And like I said, this work starts in grade 9 and it goes all the way through to the senior year. We have, when you talk to our staff, they'll tell you that, of course, it's been a challenge because pre-COVID, it's a lot easier to walk down the hall to pick up a student, to bring in for a meeting or to review scholarship options and things like that. And so it is a little bit more challenging to have that one-to-one kind of contact with our graduating seniors to help them with this process. But nonetheless, like I said, it's continued to thrive and flourish. And when I kind of reflect on this school-wide process, this is also something that teachers are actively involved in as well. With our advisory program, you're going to hear from Rosalie. She's one of our students who came up through our 9th grade academy and is graduating at the very, at the top of she's in our arts academy right now. She's graduating at the top of her small learning community. And so we know that this is something that starts on the first day of 9th grade and collectively we're working towards supporting our students well through their senior year.
And we're hearing from Omar Crowder, the principal of Northeast High School. And Omar talked about all of the things that he and his colleagues at Northeast do for his students. Omar, it's important for individuals to understand the impact of that work. And Northeast, I indicated, was the largest high school in Philadelphia. How many students do you have at Northeast?
We have just over 3,300.
Yeah. And so the fact that all of those services and all of that support is being provided to young people by a large number of individuals who are committed to seeing those young people be successful is extremely important. And one of those young people is Rosalie. And Rosalie, we're glad to have you this morning. Thanks again for getting up on a Saturday and being with Principal Crowder and myself this morning. And can you talk a little bit? I know Principal Crowder shared a little bit about what you're going to be doing, but can you talk about your plans after graduation? And then talk about how has the support of your teachers and Principal Crowder helped you prepare for what you will experience in your future years in college?
Okay, thank you for having me. Like I said earlier, and my plans after graduation is to go to college, and I'm really excited about it because I received a full ride financial aid package for attending Northeastern University.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. And I wish I could take all the credit, but most of it has to be awarded to all my supportive teachers, to my counselor, Mr. Silva, and my coordinator, Mrs. Brittany Lewis, because already during my freshman year, they built me up. They introduced me to the, I think, partnered website scholarship, raiseme.com, and they told me that all you have to do is keep updating your grades, and by the end of your senior year, you'll have a good sum of money for your scholarship. And yes, it did happen. And also during my sophomore year, thanks to my counselor, I was exposed to multiple college fairs, and not only the one that were hosted at Northeast, but also I had the opportunity to physically be present at colleges, and have that direct information from college admission offices and hearing from college students. And, I think that's really exciting to be physically on campus because it encourages you to work towards, your education and stuff. And during my junior year, I think that's the year that most students are like concerned about what they're gonna do and what they're gonna be. But you talk to your teachers, and they directed me to Northeast College and Career Office, and the thing that I remember the most, and I think that I'll miss about it, is literally the door to the office, because there's before you even get into the office, you have the pictures of the advisors and the counselors in there, at the door, and all these encouraging notes. I think that draws you into the office, and literally talking to the people in there take off a huge sum of burden off your shoulders, because they tell you that it's okay, you don't have to have everything figured out right now, but to help you here, we're having a college trip and college exposures on Thursday, and literally all you have to do is sign up and show up. It's that easy. And I think also having the college exposure helps you build your college list. You have an idea of the colleges you're interested in, of what you want to attend and stuff like that, and you also have lots of career exposure, and that's just amazing. And it's also through that process that was introduced to Philadelphia Futures, which is an amazing program. Oh my gosh, that helped me throughout my entire college application process, because already during the summer I was working on my personal essay, and I also had more college exposure and college career things to do, and I attended this 3-week college marathon program. So Philadelphia Futures really is a blessing, and Northeast has this app, Naviance, pretty easy to use. It's it's offered by Northeast, and it's monitored by your counselors. It's a way to keep in touch, and it's a way for them to view your college process, where you are at your college application process. Also a way to ask for your recommendation letters. It's pretty amazing, and it's pretty easy to use. And they also, post on this, they have a website, and on their Google Classroom, they post so much about summer programs. I attended the Penn RESA, the Penn summer program, and it's an amazing program. It was about college preparation and career exposure, and I don't know if counselors have breaks or they just think of their students during their breaks, because there was this scholarship attack that they kept posting, hey, here's a scholarship that you might think of applying to, here's a scholarship that I think you're eligible for, go ahead, apply. And during my 12th grade year, I think the attack was the focus, though, for a moment was on the FAFSA. They dedicated weeks on helping students apply for the FAFSA. I had live meetings, virtual meetings. I think they were pretty creative too with their ideas, and on their website, there's every information you need about scholarship. You have the Dell Scholarship, you have the Coca-Cola Scholarship, the Liberty Scholarship for Drexel. And I wasn't only exposed to the scholarship from Northeast, but also from outside sources from Philadelphia Futures, like the Wolf Foundation Scholarship and the G.E. Reagan Foundation Scholarship, and lots more scholarship. And like you said, well, I think at the top of the chain is Principal Crowder, because if you have teachers encouraging students to seek for help and being the help, and counselors being like your personal cheerleaders, encouraging you, what's there to complain about but to be grateful of? And, that just goes to show Principal Crowder amazing, strong leadership and powerful influence. So thank you, Principal Crowder.
Hey, so Principal Crowder, you need to take Rosalie everywhere, right? So that she is a walking advertisement for how you and your colleagues at Northeast support all of the students. So Rosalie, congratulations to you on going to Northeastern, not only being accepted, but having a full ride there. So congratulations to you, and you're a remarkable young lady. I just can't wait to see what you're going to accomplish. What do you plan to study?
Plan to study leaning towards law and also business, or also find the balance between law and business. And they have an amazing program for that at Northeastern, which I'm pretty excited about.
It's not going to matter. Whatever you do, you're going to be successful. So I just thank you so much for coming on. Principal Crowder, thank you as well for the support that you provide to all of the young people at Northeast, and for being a magnificent leader, as Rosalie just described. And so we're going to close out the program. I want to thank Rosalie for coming on once again. Principal Crowder, thank you as always for the work that you do at Northeast, leading one of their largest high schools, and the tremendous work you've done to get young people successful, particularly during an unprecedented year. As I close, want to remind everyone that today, particularly in the north area of Philadelphia, there is a vaccination clinic that's going to be held at William D. Kelly School at 1601 North 28th Street from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Individuals are welcome to walk in, but they ask that you pre-register, and you can go there to meet individuals like Congressman Dwight Evans, who will be there, State Senator Vincent Hughes, State Representative Donna Bullock, and State Senator Sharif Street. And so, once again, a vaccination clinic at W.D. Kelly at 1601 North 28th Street from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And as we close, I want to thank our executive producers, Evelyn Sample Oates, Hania Shop Brown, Jordan Booth in the station as our engineer. And as we close out, I want to wish all of the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. Please enjoy the weekend. Once again, Rosalie, congratulations to you. Principal Crowder, thank you for the work that you've done. This concludes this episode of Education Pulse.
Thank you.